Hi everybody. In this video I want to go through the process of creating a new entry on the Lincoln Telegram's wiki. The process here involves editing an existing wiki page on this wiki. You're going to be doing a series of 10 telegrams. You conduct the analysis on the telegram first, use the skim model to do the analysis just like the example that we've done in the activity that I already posted on the blog. And now you're going to do 10 more. So I'm sending those 10 to you. It's 10 in sequence that I want you to work on. What you're going to do is you're going to be replicating basically a template. And we can use the March 10th wiki as an example of a telegram that's been completely analyzed and formatted in all the way the rest of them should be. So when you're finished, all 10 of your telegram wiki pages will look like this. So you'll notice there are a few features here. The date at the top, and then this is all the same font size. The date at the top, and then headings for links, transcript, historical analysis, and then these are subheadings for summary of telegram, context, and inference. Those are the skim sections of your analysis, and then notes down at the bottom. On the right-hand side is this thumbnail version of the telegram with some navigational items below it. So I'm going to show you how to make that. I'm also going to show you how to make the headings so that you can put the analysis in here. This box right here that says contents will be generated automatically for you. Now the first thing you do, I'm going to log out up here so you can see how this works. The first thing that you do when you get to the main page of the Lincoln Telegrams at wiki.lincolntelegrams.com, and remember this is one of two websites. The other one is lincolntelegrams.com. So this is kind of the main home page, and then this is where the wiki project lives. So at wiki.lincolntelegrams.com, when you get here, you're going to go over here to the right and click Create Account. Then click Create Account again right here, and then fill in this information. Once you do that, then I'll approve your account. You'll be good to go. And then you will go back and log in. I'm going to log in myself. My account is admin. Put my password in. It'll log me in, and you notice things change. Now I have my name up here, and I also have a lot more options across the top with these tabs. So I'll go back to my first telegram, March 10th, which is the basically it's going to be the model that we use. And when I click on the Edit tab, I'm going to get access to all the code. So this code in the box right here renders so that it looks like what you see when you go to the website. And there are two things to point out. One is this stuff at the top. This is code. This is wiki code. And the wiki code operates basically by these brackets. So you see the squiggly brackets, you get double squiggly brackets. Those two double squiggly brackets are telling the wiki source code to do something in particular. It calls up a particular program. It's like a subprogram within the code. And that subprogram in this text creates that little box that was over on the right. That stuff in the very top line creates this. All the stuff that's needed to create this on the right-hand side that I'm mousing over right now is on that top line. So let's look at what's there. Inside the double squiggly brackets, you get the word telegram and a line image URL. Now what that does is it tells the source code to create that box. And then you get URL equals, and what that is it's the image. It's the image that's going to be displayed in the box. And the image title is March 10 underscore 1864.jpg. All of these images are on the wiki. They live on the wiki in a folder, and they are all named using a very specific naming convention. And the naming convention is the full the month with all the letters of the month, no abbreviations, with no space, followed by the date, then an underscore, the year.jpg. So if this was March 11th, it would just be March 11 underscore 1864.jpg. So when you're creating your telegram, you're going to need to replace this with the correct date. Then there's another horizontal line, and it says date. And then here, what you do is you just put the date of the telegram, March 10th. And you just write it like you would like for it to appear. If you put a double space, you're going to get a double space or a triple space, okay? So you just write it like you want it to see. You don't need to worry about all this underscore stuff. So if it's March 11th, it would just say March 11th, 1864. Then there's another horizontal line, and it says previous URL. What that does is it pulls up a link to the telegram that comes before this one. The telegram before this one is actually the last telegram, okay? So if I click save and go back over here, the previous telegram is not chronologically the previous telegram, it's the last telegram in the collection, okay? So, and then from there, that box is broken. I need to fix that. From the last one, you go back to the first one. So there's just a circle, a loop at the end so that people can navigate through this. But for yours, what it'll be is the telegram that appears right before it. It'll be the date. Now, here's a second naming convention you got to pay attention to. This is a URL naming convention, and it's slightly different than the image naming convention. The URL always appears right up here in the URL bar. You're going to get it right here. So, what you're going to do is just make sure that you have the correct URL for the telegram that comes previous to the one you're working on, and then by next URL equals, you're going to get the URL that comes after the one that you're looking at. So I'll show you how to change that, and we'll just go to one and actually make it. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go back to the main page, and I'm just going to jump in here and randomly pick one out. I'm going to go to March 10th. I'm going to go to March 1865 and pick March 6th. Oh, wouldn't you know it, this one's already done. Let's go to March 7th. That one's already done too. Okay, let's go to March. Okay, I don't know why all these are done in March. Let me go back. Let's go to February. We'll pick February 1st. Okay, here's one that's not done. These are the kind that you're going to work on. And when you get to this page, of course, the first thing you do, read the telegram and skim it. Okay? Now, let me just say something about skimming for just a second. Remember, you're actually not doing the M, it's just the S, the C, and the I, summary, contextualizing, and inferring. That's the only part you're doing. But what you do is you just read this text, and we need to get that text fixed up there because the two blanks mean that whoever was working on this couldn't read it, but we ought to be able to fix that. In fact, if we go over here, we can get an image of this from February 1st. Let's go to February. Let me click on it, February 1st. Here it is. Let's see if we can decipher what it says. We'll go back to it and get it started. Let nothing in which transpiring, hinder or delay your military movement or plans. Let nothing which is transpiring. Yeah, makes total sense. Let nothing which is transpiring. Let me just edit that while we're talking about it. So the first thing you're going to do, if you do see any errors, not errors, but double check to make sure everything's right. Let nothing which is transpiring make sure that's spelled right. It doesn't look right. I knew it wasn't. Okay, I don't know how to spell transpiring. Hold on. Thank you. Okay, now we'll put, what we've tried to do is to follow the line break on the actual telegram. So since there's a line break after the trans, we break the line in the transcription. Let nothing which is transpiring change, hinder, or, I don't think there's an S on that, delay your military movement or plans. This was done by another student, and I guess they just couldn't read that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you do your skim work. You're going to summarize, so you'll just write, what do you think this means? And then you'll contextualize, and you'll respond to those questions in the skim model. And that's kind of, why do you think this was sent? What was going on when it was sent? This is February 1st, 1865, so what's going on? The war's coming to an end. Grant's about to make his final push on Richmond. This is sent to Richmond. You're just kind of filling in the additional information that helps us understand the stuff that wraps around this. By the way, this is City Point. That was where Grant had his headquarters, City Point. Okay, so then when you infer, you're going to be making those logical leaps. The things that the telegram don't do. What do they tell you? They tell you that Lincoln's heavily involved. They tell you that he is trying to kind of control or manage Grant. He wants Grant moving forward. He wants to bring this thing to an end, that kind of thing. Okay, so now back to our coding. This stuff at the top where it says main page, you can just get rid of that. Now we're going to drop. Whoops, hold on. Let's go to March 10th because since I couldn't spell transpiring, I had to put that on my clipboard. I need to go back to March 10th and get the code that was at the top of the page. Here it is. Now let's go to February 1st. And now we're going to edit. And I'm going to put that code at the top. Now remember I said we need to change some things. First thing we need to change is right here. This is not March 10th. This is February 1. February 1 underscore 1864. That is the image. That's where the image is. Oh, it's not 1864. It's 1865. Boom. The date, February 1, 1865. Previous telegram, well, we're going to have to go see what that is. So let me save it. Oh, look, our image appears. That's good. That worked. Let me go back to the main menu. Let me look and see what came before February 1st. It's January 31st. I'm going to click on it because this is the easiest way to get the URL. That's it right there. What comes after the equal sign. This one's kind of complicated because it's the fourth telegram memo that was sent on January 31st. And so when we get to the second one, and then for third and fourth, and if there's a fifth or a sixth, we put the number in parentheses after an underscore after the year. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. Now I'm going to go back to February 1st. I'm going to click on edit, and then up here I'm going to put in my URL. My previous URL is on my clipboard, and there it is. The next URL is going to be whatever is next. And again, I got to go back. I should have looked at it while I was on the main menu, but I'll go back, click on February. It's February 1st. It's the second one. Again, just to make sure I get it right, I'm going to copy it. It's everything to the right of the equal sign. Go back to February 1st. So this is, this is a digital part of our digital history class. This is when you're getting in there and actually doing a little bit of coding and really thinking about how all this stuff works. And then I'm going to delete what's in here for the URL, making sure that I have my double squiggly brackets right there. Paste, and everything should work on my navigation. Okay, so this stuff automatically appears, main page and Lincoln Telegrams project. That's how we wrote this thing to work in the background so that it would pull up this thumbnail and put that in there, and then we have to actually code in the previous, that worked, and the next, that worked. Okay, so now the second thing we got to do, so we got this box all working. By the way, when you click on the image, you get a larger version. Click it again, you get an even larger version, so that you can get high quality. Now notice we have two copies of this one. This is on the Wiki, and over here it's on the main page. Okay, so let me back up. Let's go back to March 10th, which is our template. So the second thing we're going to do, remember the first thing here is we created this box. And by the way, we're going to have color images ready to go for you when you do this. We just got this color images. It was really exciting. A little background on the work when we started in 2010. We just sort of happened upon these telegrams. We were doing some work. We got interested. We had read Wheeler's book. This is in a section of the class y'all are taking right now in 2010. I went to the National Archives, which had microfilm versions of these, but there were none that were digitized that I could find. So I just bought a roll, a microfilm roll that had 324 of these from March 10th, 64 to April 11, 65, and we digitized them. We put them on a scanner, a microfilm scanner, and we made 324 TIFF images, and we adjusted them and made them JPEGs, and we started building. And now we have this project that we're doing that y'all are working on. So I get a call a couple of months ago, and it's from the director of the Abraham Lincoln's Project at the Lincoln Museum and Library in Springfield, Illinois. And he said, hey, I saw your wiki, and I saw the other stuff y'all are doing. I'd like to talk. So I had a conversation with him, and he said, which I noticed you have black and white images that you scanned. Where'd you get them? And I told him the story, and he said, would you like some color ones? Because we have them all digitized. And I'm like, would I like some color ones? Heck yeah, this is like Christmas. So he gave them to me. Came to Raleigh, he was coming through, and he gave me a CD, and now we have them, and we're putting them up. And boy, do they look a lot better. You know, if you go back and take a look at the March one, these were all the old ones that we originally did. So that's what we did, and that's what the folks at the Lincoln Library did. That's nice, isn't it? I mean, you can see the line on this. You can really tell what was here. You can see a stain right there. You know, just where the ink bled. It's neat. It just makes you feel like, you know, it just puts you a little closer to what happened in history. This is a little more artificial, and it feels like there's this distance between you and this thing that happened. So back to our work here on the wiki. The next thing that we're going to do is create those headings. Okay, here they are. Links. This one's automatically generated, by the way, so you don't have to do that. But links, transcripts, historical analysis, and then the subheadings. Okay, so to create a heading, all you do is type a word and put an equal sign on both sides of it. If you put one equal sign, it's a top level heading. If you do two equal signs, like you have down here for summary of Telegram, it's a subheading. So let's go back to February 1. February 1 Telegram, I'm going to pull it up. We did our work over here on the right. I'm going to type right here where it was on the example, link equal, and I'm going to press save, and you'll see link, and below it is actually the transcript. So I'm going to put that one in there too. And we'll get the link information. I think actually we do plural links because we have multiple links. Transcripts equal. You always have to put a line break, by the way, in a wiki. If you do not line break, then it, like right here, if you don't put an actual line break, it's going to put this on the same line. So watch this where it says War Department, and then Washington's on the very next line. Watch what happens. Seriously, watch what happens. There we go. Puts it on the same line. So in the wiki programming, to actually make the line break, you have to put a line space in, and that makes a line break. Anyway, now we have two headings down below Lincoln's signature. We'll put a third heading, and that's going to be analysis of the Telegram. I think that's what we called it. And then just so you can, okay, so let me back up. Now we have three headings. Okay, and you're going to see these three headings now on the page, right there. And we'll put the link stuff, and you put the analysis stuff here. Now I'm going to do a subheading under analysis of the Telegram, and it's going to be, actually I think we just called it analysis. I think. We can go back and get the exact language. Now I'm going to do a double equal sign and say summary of Telegram. Now watch what happens. Because I have a subheading, it's going to make a navigational box at the top. It automatically generates it. The source code does it for us. There it is. Okay. So now we're off to the races. We can just put our summary information in. We can do our other stuff that we need to do. There's one other thing that I want to show you. Let's go back to March 10th. You want to get the links stuff. You can just copy that. So if I go to edit, I can just copy this information. Now I'm going to have to make some changes here, but I'm going to copy what's in the link section. I also have a triple or quadruple dash. That quadruple dash right there, it's more code. It makes a line. 4 dashes generates a horizontal line in Wiki code. So here we go. There's my 4 dashes. It's going to generate a line right underneath there. And voila. There's my extra line right there. There's the stuff I put in. Now this link works and this link works, but this link doesn't work and it says March 10th, and that link doesn't work because it goes to March 12th. So you just have to change those 2 links so that they're correct. The first one needs to go to an image of the Telegram. And the image of the Telegram, you just need to get this right here. And you need to replace this And one other thing you have to replace, we created a folder structure that has year, 65, month, February, so it's 02. So it'll work now. Now we change this so that the date is correct, February 1st, 1865. And then down here, the next one, if I remember correctly, it was the second one on February 1st. So what we'll do is we'll just say February 1st, and then we'll put in parentheses next to it 2 as an indication that that's the second one. Save. That didn't work. Let's get the exact. This is it right here, February 1st. So what we're doing here is we're putting the name of the page. The name of the page and the URL are different. Oh, I see what it is. It's just so I get the 5. The name of the page is this. And it's just WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. There's a space there. You just type it exactly like you see it. The URL doesn't appear the same. A URL can't handle a space. So instead of it saying February space, it inserts an underscore. So in the places where you have to put the name of the page, you actually include the space. But when you have to put the URL, you have to put an underscore in the place of the space. Hope that makes sense. But the link should work now because I fixed the year, and it does. It would take us to the next one. So that's pretty much it. You know, I want you to look at these and double check the transcription and make sure we get everything right. And of course, put all your analysis in. One more thing. We use a referencing convention in this. So instead of putting a bunch of links in the text, instead of linking stuff in the text, we want you to use, I'd like for you to use footnotes, okay? And these can be generated automatically using code. 2 things I need to tell you, I'm sorry. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I also need for you to put in the historical analysis, and it wasn't just the word analysis, it was historical. I just want you to copy this text exactly. So just copy it and put it right in. And this is credit information. We just want to make sure that we're giving credit to the good folks up at Virginia Tech who developed this, and my friend David Hicks. So this is historical analysis. So you just put that in there so it looks just like that, okay? And now here's what we're going to do. So double space, this is going to be context. We got to get the exact language down. And it'll all go in there. What I'm going to do is go back to March 10, and I'm going to get some text to show you how to do the reference, okay? So let's open this up, and under summary, you'll see the first reference. The way the reference is generated is by a tag, and the tag is right here. It is the equal sign and the greater sign and the less than sign. And it basically opens up a tag called a reference tag. So if you do greater than sign REF, less than sign REF, and then put everything that you'd want to appear in a footnote, everything, including you can put URLs and all sorts of stuff. And then to end the reference, you put greater than sign, like right here, /REF, less than sign. And what that'll do is it will tell the page to generate a footnote, and it'll put in the place of this a number, whatever sequence it is. This is the first one, so it'll put a number 1. And then it'll drop down and take the text that's inside the 2 tags, and it'll put it underneath this section that says notes, as long as this is here. As long as that code is right there, and that code is greater than sign references / less than sign. So that exact code has to be there. So you just copy that and go ahead and put it on your page for all of them, because you'll have notes for all of them, and that'll save you a little bit of hassle. So I'll go back over here to edit. I'll go down. And the last page is going to be notes. You also have inference in here. And again, just make sure you got the language right, because I can't remember now how we worded it. But and now anything that you put inside a reference tag is going to appear down at the bottom under notes. All right, so that's it. Quick little overview of how to edit these pages. I'm available to talk to y'all. We can do work sessions. We can pick up the phone and talk. I can meet in person. Here to help. Hope you enjoy it. And I'll get those. You'll have those. Well, actually, by the time you're watching, you'll probably already have your assignments for Wiki telegrams. All right. So enjoy the work. Thanks.